Hello everybody, Cooper here, and welcome back to another episode of Youth to Gold here on Cricket Captain 2024. I hope you're all doing very well today. It is now time for some Vitality Blast action. It is that time of the year. If we head over to the domestic tables, we're having a very nice time of things in Division 1 in the County Championship, but the next portion of fixtures, if we head to our team, is all Vitality Blast action. My goal for today is to get through to when we don't have to play Vitality Blast action, when our next County Championship game is, which in-game is about 2 weeks worth of games. Between 6 and 8 games I think will fit into today's game. So action-packed video we've got for you today. We've got Worcestershire at home to kick things off. I've changed the pitch. Traditionally we have a seamers pitch at home for our first class stuff. I want to give our batsmen a bit more of a chance in the Blast, because I feel like although we did win it last year, spoilers, we are defending champions, our batsmen did struggle. So at least for the start of the tournament, we are going to go with a batting friendly pitch, because if we have a look at the conditions, it is now very batsman friendly. The top two openers, Follett and Flintoff, are going to open as they have with the first class stuff. Vasconcelos is going to move up from 5 to 3. Higgins is going to stay at 4. And then Delano Potgeider, who's one of our overseas players, he's going to replace Ollie Davies, who would have missed out anyway due to injury, but he is now back. I think he had a broken finger or something, so he's going to come in at 5. Sykes is going to stay at 6. And then instead of Peter Siddle, we're going to bring in one of our other overseas players who's a T20 exclusive, Zach Fawkes, who is actually also on the Manchester Originals, a player that we picked up in the off-season. Then we've got David Willey at 8. We've got Bannister at 9. Armstrong at 10. Minto at 11. So a little bit different to what you guys would have expected from our first class lineup. But at this stage, no Ollie Davies, and Finn Allen is the other T20 overseas player to miss out. But out of the 3 options we have, he's not in the best form and he doesn't bowl. So that is something. We've got Vasconcelos who can keep, so that's fine. I did toss and turn between bringing Zabin over Sykes, but I want to give Sykes a go just because he's young enough and he's very aggressive, I believe. He's aggressive in T20 cricket, whereas Zabe, I think, is average. No, he's very aggressive. He's defensive in first class cricket. We get a spinning pitch and we need a second spinner. I know that Brownlow's also back from injury now, and I want someone who could bat. We'll go for Zabe. But at this stage, he's going to sit out. Sanderson also going to sit out along with Brownlow. Martin and Langridge have been really good in the second 11, but they just miss out here today. Let's get into some cricket, finally. We can stop talking about it, stop doing the admin. We're going to call heads on the toss. Hopefully we bat first. We are losing the toss, and we are going to bowl on a pretty flat deck. That is the one downside on bowling on these pitches, is that they're pretty flat, and the predictor is having them scoring just over 180. They're 50% shot at winning. The draw, or a tie, I suppose, has them at a 1%, and then 48.5% chance of us for winning. Let's see how we go. Well, I'll be. The bowlers have done it on a flat wicket. Worcestershire all out for 107. David Willey picked up 4 for 32. Minto, I believe on T20 debut, 4 for 11. Awesome bowling spell by him. Bannister was also really good, but didn't get rewarded with wickets, unfortunately. He was none for 14 from his 4 overs, 13 dot balls in that. Fawkes picked up 1 for 22. Armstrong 1 for 28. Plenty of dot balls in his run as well. A lot of early wickets was really the key in this one. We had them 5 for 40. We didn't let them build a partnership, basically. We just did a really good job. Tommy Taylor was their top scorer with 37, a very slow 37, but very happy with how he bowled here today. I like our odds going into our innings. Predicted score, yeah, we've got a 95% chance of winning this one. The pitch is friendly. Hopefully we don't lose too many wickets in the chase. I'll probably keep it pretty calm in terms of the aggression, just because I want to see our guys score some runs. But if things are going too slow, I'll obviously amp it up a little bit. Quite a good win in the end. We're actually going quite slowly. We got the 109 runs required in just over, or just under 13 overs, actually. Vasconcelos was the player of the game. Or he wasn't the player of the game, but ended as the not out batsman, 30 from 25. Flintoff led the scoring with 31, but that was off 32 balls, so a little disappointing there. Follett was good, 15 off 9 in the short amount of time he was at the crease. Pot guy to hit a 6 and got out. Higgins, a couple of boundaries and got out. Sykes finished not out at the end as well. We win by 6 wickets as expected. Minto is the player of the game. And a really, really good start to our Blast campaign to retain our championship. And another positive, by getting a big win, we get a really early boost to the net run rate, because I think we finished 3rd last season and our net run rate was horrendous. We were like negative 1.0 something, but we still made it to the final. I've just seen that Finn Allen is injured. Langridge has improved his attacking bowling to the limit, so we'll quickly patch that up. I think we'll send Fulks to just ground fielding, and then for the aggression, we'll go Langridge. We can send him to aggressive one-day bowling. We can just patch that up there. We'll skip forward. Martins have improved his attacking bowling. That is a good sign. I dare say the squad will remain the same. There wasn't too many changes we need to make. Our bowlers were awesome. Bannister was still good, even though he didn't take any wickets. Fulks was a little expensive off his 2 overs, but, when the other 2 are taking... Well, there's 2 bowlers that take 4 wickets apiece. You can't really do too much with that. So I dare say we will keep things the same for this one. Another home fixture this time. It's a bit cloudy, actually. We're going to call heads again. We'll try bat first, and this time we do bat first. We win the toss. It's the Russell revenge game. Oh, poor Russell. I hope we smack him around the park, but he was really good for us. We have to remember. We will bat first. He was really good in the T20s for us last season and in the limited over stuff as well. Let's have a look at his record. He hasn't played a game. This is his first game for Durham, but he was so good for us last year. 26 average, 55 wickets, and then under 20 in both one-day cricket and T20. Mark Adair, is there any other players that recently changed teams? Not that I particularly recognise. No, nobody looks out of place. But yeah, what's the predictor say for us? Oh, Durham, big favourites actually. 65% predicted score is just under 160. If I can get around 165, 170, that will probably be ideal. We'll go aggressive early. Let's see how this plays out. You'll have to pardon the weather on the microphone, because it is raining quite heavily right now. And if it does come through, I do apologise. 8 for 190. It could have been a lot worse. We were 4 for 91. Actually, we were 3 for 43. That became 4 for 91. 2 really good partnerships with, I think it was Flintoff and Potguider, and then Flintoff and Sykes as well. Flintoff was clearly our best batsman. 72 of 41. Much more aggressive this time around. It is something we have been working on with him. A very healthy average after 3 T20 games of 51.5. Higgins, Potguider, Sykes, Fulks, Willie all scored double digits. We had 2 first ball ducks, which was a little annoying. Follett, again, a T20 failure. 3 of 4 was no good. And then we almost had a hat-trick in the final over. Yeah, just not a great... there were some really good bits of this innings, but then some really bad bits as well. The predictor has us defending this total pretty comfortably, actually. Predicted score of 168. The bowling conditions are not as good as they were in the first innings. Wow, that rain is really heavy. I'm hopeful that we can do a good job. Considering how we bowled on this pitch in the first match, I'm pretty confident that we can do a decent job here today. Bannister, who didn't pick up any wickets in the last game, is due to pick up some T20 wickets. He does have a good record in T20 cricket. His one-day record isn't as good, but I still think he can be quite a good limited overs bowler, as well as some of the other guys we do have. Another comfortable victory for us. We ended up winning by 53 runs. I actually wasn't that confident in a victory, considering we had them 4 for 67 and then 5 for 88. Actually, then 7 for 89. It was around the 3 for 59, 4 for 67 period that I was feeling a little bit iffy, just because we were in a similar situation. Willie and Fulks took 9 between them. The wickets... Willie took 5. Fulks took 3 in the space of about 5 balls. He was really, really good. I believe that it's not quite career best figures for him. Willie's 5 for 22 is career best figures for him. Minto picked up the final wicket. Bannister again, no wicket. Same with Armstrong. But he's still being very economical. He's bowled 8 overs and he's none for 36, only going at 4.5 an over in T20 cricket, which is still very impressive. Willie gets the player of the game. A couple of games abandoned. I reckon Hampshire's game has been abandoned for the second time this season. So we'll have a quick look at the table in a second, but 2 really dominant victories to begin the tournament. So just having a look at the South Division, yes, Hampshire have had 2 no results in their 2 games so far. And because of that, they're currently sitting in 5th in their division, which is quite funny. But we are currently sitting 2-0. Lancashire also 2-0 to start their campaign. And Kent are the only other, I suppose, undefeated team. Essex hasn't played a game yet, and Hampshire's had 2 no results. I'm not sure if that counts or not, but a very good start to our campaign. We now have Derbyshire away, and they are currently sitting in 4th. If we go back to the table now, they've still got a positive net run rate, so we probably shouldn't take them, not too lightly. Pot Guide is out for 2 weeks. That is a pain. I think what we do here, if we just quickly check out the injury, it's another broken finger. Our team broken fingers. Pot Guide hasn't really bowled for us, so I think what we'll do... Oh, Finn Allen's also injured. I was going to say I'll bring him in. He's got a knee injury. I forgot about that injury. I think we bring back Ollie Davies. That's probably the logical pick. We'll put him up to 3. Vasconcelos can go down to 5. It's looking very similar to our first class team now. I reckon the only difference is Fulks for Peter Siddle. That is basically it. But you're pretty happy with, obviously injuries aside, we can't really do too much about that. But pretty happy with the lineup we have in this game. It's a spinning wicket. So we might go... Do we go Zabe? How's his bowling form? Took 2 for 38 in the last game. So I think we'll just leave it as is for now and then just see what happens. Conditions, yeah, pretty cloudy. Spinning wicket. We'll call tails on the toss. We have been put into bowl, which could go either way, to be perfectly honest. Derbyshire are a decent side. They've got Nkaba Peter, who they stole from Lancashire last season. Is that right? No, he was on Derbyshire the entire time. I'm an idiot. Who else have they got on their team? They've got Patrick Brown, Louis Rees, who made our team of the season last year. Harry Kame, who's had a very good season as well. Matt Lamb, Luke Donathy. I've not heard of you. I think he might be a youth player. That's why. Actually, no, he wouldn't be because he has played too many one-day games. Alex Thompson, Anuj Dal, Slasa. He's pretty good, so we've got to keep an eye on him. But yeah, I think we'll go okay. Bowling score has Derbyshire scoring 162. Let's hopefully bowl them out for less than that. Oh, we've got a hat-trick opportunity. Fulks to Peter. He's got him. First hat-trick of the series. Derbyshire 8 for 80. Fulks has 5 for 15. This has been an absolute massacre. And it's not even a fast bowling pitch. It's a spinning pitch. What an over that was. And Fulks, does he get 6? He does get 6. With the hat-trick, a 6-wicket haul. We have bowled Derbyshire all out for 92. 6 for 26. Best figures, I believe, in Northamptonshire history. We might have to check that after the game. But what a bowling spell by Zach Fulks. Career best figures. He is having an awesome season. And Minto wasn't too bad either. He ended up with 3 for 18. A really good opening spell by him. He picked up 2 wickets in his first over. Bannister picked up the 9th wicket, but Fulks just bang, bang, bang down the middle of the order. Was awesome. Armstrong on the spinning wicket actually really struggled. And then David Willey was none for 7 off 2 overs. Yeah, we were all over Durham. There is just nothing we could not do with this pitch. Fulks was awesome. Very happy with how we bowled. And again, we have a very small run chase. Oh, words. We've not had a hat-trick on this channel in a long time. Who's going to open the bowling? Patrick Brown going to open the bowling. He's played some T20 cricket for England, apparently. Not for a long time. Doesn't have a good international record. Predictor has us comfortably winning this one. Derbyshire, 5.5% chance of winning. I'm hopeful that doesn't happen. Pretty comfortable victory in the end. Flintoff getting 45 off 26, improving that T20 record 1 innings at a time. Follett again. He's got 27 runs in 3 innings. He's not having a good run of things. Ollie Davies' first T20 innings of the season. Not bad at 35, not out. And then Higgins only batted for 3 balls, ended up with 5. But most importantly, we win by 8 wickets. Fulks obviously gets player of the game. 6 for 26. What an absolute explosion. We're now sitting very comfortably in second place. Lancashire still unbeaten 4 and zip. They actually finished 6th in their group last season, but that net run rate for us is absolutely incredible. Hampshire, have they played another game yet? No, they haven't. Essex still haven't played yet. That is weird, but that is something we will keep an eye on. And we've just had a look at the record book. How could I have forgotten Sikander Raz's 6 for 21 from last season? He has the best figures. Fulks is just going to have to settle for second place. Well, yeah, second place. Andrew Hall has a tied best bowling record with Raza. Yeah, we couldn't quite break the record. That is unfortunate. Our next game is back at home. Our next game is back at home up against Warwickshire, who actually won the county championship last year. And they're currently sitting in 5th, but in T20 land, they're sitting just outside of the knockout stage group. They are sitting in 5th with a win and 2 losses. Take from that what you will. Hopefully nobody else is injured. That is good. Davies' form is picking up. Minto in very good T20 form. Armstrong not really taking to T20 cricket right now. We might actually change that up and have a consideration for Brownlow. Although we are playing at home, we could afford to change to one of the other fast bowlers and just go with all pace. We might go with Armstrong for one more game, and if he's no good, we'll send him to the seconds and bring in either Brownlow or another pacer. But I'm pretty happy with the output we've had from our entire team so far. If we just have a look at the current competition, apart from Higgins, who hasn't really need to do all that much, and Follett at the top of the order, as well as Bannister, really, I'm pretty happy with how we've played. Actually, Bannister's not even been bad. He's just not taking wickets. He's been very economical. That's the only thing. But Flintoff in T20 cricket's been a nice surprise. Vasconcelos has been a nice surprise, even though he's only had the 2 innings. Sykes has been good, really striking the ball at almost 200. David Willey's got 9 wickets, averaging 6. Fulks is averaging 6.5. No real overcast conditions to speak of. Again, this will be a bat first if we can. We're going to have a bowl again. And I've noticed that there is another one of our former players, Robert Keogh. Former, I believe he might have even been club captain at one point, but he is going to be in the opposition today. They've also got Moeen Ali. Yes, Moeen Ali. Chris Wokes. Jamie Porter, who I recognise for some reason. Sam Hain, who's got a ton of runs. He's got an awesome one-day record. When did he play ODI cricket for England? That was last season. But it looks like they've got a half-decent team. The pitch is pretty flat. We're going to have to be pretty defensive here. It's basically 50-50 who wins this one. All out for 142. You'd have to say that's under par for Warwickshire. A good spread of the wickets is not something we've had traditionally in T20 cricket this season, but Bannister, Fulks, Armstrong and Sykes all picked up 2. Willie and Minto only picked up the 1 each. Willie and Armstrong, pretty expensive. Armstrong 2 for 41. I really don't know. He picked up 2 wickets, definitely his best bowling performance this season, but 10 and over in T20 cricket is just a killer. Sykes, 2 for 13, was really good in his first dig in T20 cricket. Willie only bowled him the 2 overs, wasn't very good. Minto only bowled his opening spell. And then Willie, 2 for 34, wasn't too bad, but 13 dot balls, much better compared to how he has been this season. But 7 and over, 20 overs, definitely doable. Hampshire, they're yet to bat this season. Surrey currently 7 for 183. If this one rains and Hampshire don't play another game or don't get another no result is essentially what I'm trying to say, I will be laughing for a long time. But Follett, we need some runs into him because we've had 6-7 innings where, I mean, we've only had 100 in the last 20 innings. And although that was, actually, is it 20 innings? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. It's actually 15 innings. Although that 100 was a biggie, he's been pretty quiet this season. So we'd like to get some runs out of him. Flintoff, if he can just keep getting that sort of 30 to 40 runs as he has been, that would be great. And if anybody else wants to chip in, that'd be swell. We finally get it done. 4 for 146. We win by 6 wickets. We get it done in the 17th over. We needed 7 to win, and we lost 2 wickets. We lost Higgins, and then we lost Vasconcelos. We finally got some runs out of our openers, and specifically Follett. He got a well-made 66. Took him a little while to get going, but did get there in the end. Flintoff fell short of just another half century. Got 45 in the last match, now 48 again, but still in good form in T20 cricket. Ollie Davies finished not out. 20 or 14 was pretty good. Higgins, 6 off 6. Vasconcelos fell the next ball, and Sykes hit a single to win, then Davies hit a 6 to win, which was great. Another good performance, another win. Hampshire win their first game of the season. Good for them. They finally get to bat, which is great. Follett gets player of the game and some desperately needed runs, which I would not have said. I wouldn't have thought I would say that, considering he made a triple century not that long ago. But that T20 average, I think, what was it last season? He was averaging 32 in T20 cricket last year. Fell below 30, I think, towards the start of the last match. But it's finally back over 30 now. But a really good performance by us. And with that victory, we reclaim our place at the top of the table. 4 wins on the trot. Lancashire also 4 wins on the trot. And if we have a look at Hampshire, who I'm, for whatever reason, taking a special interest in, they're the only team that's not unbeaten, or that are unbeaten, as well as Somerset. They've also had 2 no results. Just something to keep in mind. We now have Leicestershire at home, 2nd versus 3rd. Lancashire won their last game, so they're putting pressure on us. So it's really just seeing who's going to stay undefeated for the longest period of time. I think what we do, I'm going to keep Bannister in, but even though Armstrong's still in a really good form, I am going to make a quick switch. I'm going to give Brownlow his debut here. What is his second 11 record, just in terms of batting? We'll flick that down there. But T20 record is very good. He picked up 4 for 27 in his last second 11 game. He has a superior record to that of Armstrong. I just want to give him a game. I always love me a leg spinner. And to be perfectly honest, no, I don't feel like bringing anybody else in for now. And conditions, they're still pretty flat. But I will, for the meantime, keep everybody else the same. Ian Foyle's another batsman I've been keeping an eye on. But for the time being, I like what we have. We'll call heads on the toss. We lose the toss again. But we've been put into bat this time around. And we're going up against Leicestershire. As I said, Tim Walker, who was a youth player from last season, having a very good start to his career, averaging basically 30 across the board. Paul Sterling, he's my favourite Irish player. Jimmy Neesham, I don't know if he still plays for New Zealand or not, but is in the team. Rian Ahmed, who, as we know, is very good on this game. Louis Kimber is not who I thought he was. Looks like they only have the one overseas. Oh, Paul Sterling's the other overseas player, of course. But predictor. Oh, we're actually not in the good on this one. Leicestershire, 61% chance of winning. 167 is the predicted score on the pitch. Hopefully that isn't going to be too much of a problem. I mean, it is pretty flat, so, 170 I'll take. But it's the defending of that. Considering we have made a bowling change, that is not the team I want to have a look at. If we have a look at our bowlers, we've obviously got Fulks, who's been bowling well. Sykes had a good game last time around. Willie's been good. Bannister hasn't been the best this season in T20 cricket. Minto's had a great start to his T20 career, 9 wickets at an average of less than 10. But Alec Brownlow, he's going to be the wild card, obviously making his debut. Hopefully we can do well with the bat first. Just an absolutely outrageous batting performance, this. 244 all out in a T20. We had 3 ducks in it as well. Vasconcelos, it's his 3rd consecutive duck. I have no idea what to do with him. Fulks got a duck, Minto got a duck. Bannister, 8 off 7 wasn't too bad towards the back end. The openers weren't that good, but it was Davies and Higgins. Took us from 2 for 27, where we were looking a little shaky, to, that's not what I meant to do, to 3 for 160. Now, I have no idea what over that was, but Davies, career best 86 off 35, 10 fours, 6 sixes. There was one particular over where it was about an 8 or 9 ball over because there was, I think, a wide, 2 no balls, and yeah, the over went for about 30 in the end. It was ridiculous. Higgins, I think that's also a career high for him. Got 80 off 36, 11 fours, 4 sixes. Sykes was pretty good again. His T20 strike rate is over 200, which, you know, is great. David Willey was good at the bottom of the order. Ahmed, 4 for 43, was probably their best bowler, but Josh Hull, poor guy, none for 75 off 4 overs. I did say with the flat pitch I wanted more runs, and I think my wish has been granted. Predictor has them, 183. Apparently we're a 100% chance of winning this, which I would like that very much. But yeah, let's just take as many wickets as we can. Predictor, apparently they're chasing it down now. I don't want to be too aggressive and just give them an opening to where they can score 12 and over. But obviously, let's try and take early wickets, and then if we can't, try and slow the runs down as best we can. An interesting first over. A wicket on the 3rd ball, which was great, but also 17 runs from it. So you can immediately sense what what Leicestershire are trying to do in this game is just swing for the fences and hope for the best. But if we take a wicket every over before they score all the runs, we're going to be fine. They didn't get really close to this one. All out for 160 in the final over. I chucked Follett on at the end, and he took 2 for 8. Don't know why. He's got a really good. He's not bad at bowling. I don't know why. He's just one of those players that can just do a little bit of everything. Bannister and Minto, in terms of the actual bowlers, were the best of them. Minto 2 for 25, Bannister 2 for 41. Brownlow picked up a wicket in his first over, was a little expensive after that. Fulks and Willey, weren't too bad. Sykes picked up a wicket as well, but just towards the end, I just decided to have a little bit of fun, and yeah, we won fairly comfortably. Again, we are now 6-0, I think, or 5-0. I don't know. I'd have to have a look. But another big win, and Lancashire win again against Durham as well, so they are also undefeated still. It's 5 games for us. Lancashire, 6 games unbeaten, so not too bad by either team, and in the south, there's no teams that are unbeaten, so it's just us and Lancashire now. When do we play them? It's not yet. We play Worcestershire away as our next game. I want to have a look at when we play Lancashire. We do not play them in this bunch. Oh, no, we don't. That's Durham. We do not play them in this next bunch of games. Ironically enough, we play them in the county championship on the 11th of June. Training-wise, I think I'll just keep it as is for now. There's nothing really for me to play around with just at this time. We'll leave it as is. In an interesting turn of events, India will play Pakistan in the Test Championship final. If we have a look at that Test Championship, Australia have really fallen off compared to how they've gone in real life. India obviously having a great time of things. Sri Lanka, England, South Africa. Poor West Indies not having a great time of things down the bottom. It's a pretty flat wicket. But I mean, it's not a home game, but it's basically the same kind of wicket we would have even if we were playing at home. Vasconcelos, he's averaging 10. All of his runs came from one innings, and that was as a not-out batsman. And then he got 3 ducks in a row. I don't know who I would give the gloves to is the only thing. I'm going to do something that I don't normally do. I'm going to give the gloves to a batsman who's not a wicketkeeper. I'm going to bring Foyle in to make his, not his T20 debut, but his debut for us. He's yet to play a game for us. We brought him in from, who did he used to play for? Warwickshire, actually. And he's got a pretty good record in terms of his limited overs stuff. 38 in one-day cricket, 31 in T20 cricket. He's not a bad fielder, so I think he's going to fit in just fine until we get Vasconcelos or Finn Allen into some decent form. Obviously, Finn Allen's injured for another 8 days, so we'll obviously make do with what we have for now. But yes, Follett, Flintoff, Davies, Higgins, Foyle, Sykes, Fulks is going to be the top 7. Willie Bannister, Minto, and we'll give Brownlow another game. That is fine. We're just going to rest Armstrong for the time being, because Brownlow and Armstrong at this stage in T20 cricket, they're pretty much the same. We have called tails on the toss. We've lost the toss again. I would just like to win a toss at some point this episode. That'd be great. We've been put into bat, which on this pitch is not a terrible thing, because last time we had a pitch like this, we scored 240 odd. So we've got Hayden Walsh opening the bowling for Worcestershire. So see how that plays out. But Follett, what's he averaging now? 29.15 in T20 cricket, considering that was 32 last season. It's now 20 this season. He can bowl. I mean, that's something, but Flintoff is having a much better season in T20 cricket. Not by much. I mean, he's averaging, 42 this season. Has 35 for a career, but that is a relatively small sample size. Last time we played on a really flat pitch, we scored over 240. This time we scored over 250. Higgins was the main man today. He finished 99 not out. Unfortunately, couldn't quite get that 100. He's almost averaging 50 in all formats. He's doing an incredible job. Sykes was really good. Flintoff, another 70 odd. Davies, unfortunately, got run out. Follett, another failure. Foyle got a duck on debut for us, unfortunately. Something about our wicketkeepers just cannot score runs in this tournament, but 252 for 4 after 20 overs. We were absolutely incredible with the bat, and Predictor has us basically winning this one very comfortably. We're a chance to go 6-0. And it's another win, 140 for 9. Worcestershire don't actually get close at all. We had a drop catch on the final ball of the innings. Who dropped it? That's what happens when you don't have a wicketkeeper as your wicketkeeper. Follett bowled the last 2 overs. I didn't want to go with David Willey, even though he did pick up a wicket, but he's going at 13 runs and over. Fulks, 3 for 17 was really good. Bannister, his best bowling performance of the tournament so far. He picked up 3 for 28. Everybody else apart from Follett picked up a wicket between them. Picked up a wicket each, I should say, and we win by 112 runs. Really good performance. Higgins, for his 99 not out, gets player of the game. Lancashire win again. We are neck and neck at the top of the table. As you can see on the table, we're currently 6-0, Lancashire 7-0. We're a chance to finish this episode 8-0 if we win our next 2 T20 fixtures. Hopefully we can get a good run of things and have no injuries. We have Durham away. Always a tough fixture, this one. Conditions for this one look pretty good for batting once again. There's a little bit more for the bowlers than we've had in the last 2 pitches, but I think I'll keep the team basically the same. We'll give Foyle one more game. I know he got out for a duck, and his last 2 innings before that, he's combined for 5 runs, but it says he's still in okay form. Vasconcelos, if he can get a little bit better form, we'll bring him back in if Foyle fails. And everybody else, there's no reason for me to change anything. I've been pretty happy with how we've gone. So let's get into this one. We've selected a wicketkeeper. Yes, we know that doesn't keep. We've lost the toss, and we're going to bat again. So I did a boo-boo. I stopped recording because I had to go and do something. I can't remember actually what I had to do. I went for a run. That's what I did. And I was commentating over the game, and it was great, and I was just doing the wrap-up of this game, and then I looked over at my OBS and then realised I hadn't actually started recording again. So that was a thing that happened, but we won this one. We broke the record for the most runs in a T20 for us, at least. Flintoff picked up 90 off 39, was the best of our bats. We only required 4 batsmen. Follett got 53 before he was run out. He was actually the second wicket. Flintoff was the first to go, and then Follett actually got run out in the same over. Then Davies and Higgins picked up the rest of the innings, and they did very well as well. With the ball, it was the Bannister show. He picked up 5 for 16, best T20 figures for him. everybody else, I mean, Minto was okay. Everybody else sort of did their part. We had them 6 for 36 after Bannister just drew a hole through them, and then the tail wagged a little bit. So, but we win, and we're still unbeaten, which is the main thing. And with that result, we have now leapfrogged Lancashire. We have now jumped over them. We are now in first spot. Obviously, we're tied for points, but just the ridiculous net run rate we have has put us in a fantastic position. If we have a look at the south, Middlesex are actually in first over Sussex. Sussex have a game in hand. Pretty even over there, whereas, that's not what I wanted to do. Whereas we go to the north, which is where we are, it's not as even. And I stand corrected. Not that I was really incorrect or anything, but Worcestershire have beaten Lancashire. They score 1 for 240. Carter, I think that's Ben Carter. Barry Carter. He actually might be a regen. Yes, he is. Ooh, 128. Really solid innings by him. Sales, who's a player that we let go, picks up his wicket. And then Nasanka, the other opening batsman, picks up a century as well. Lancashire only lose by the 5 runs. They get pretty close, but they don't get the job done. Unfortunately, Carter gets player of the game. Just something to keep an eye on. And there's also the Test Championship happening at the moment, and Pakistan have scored 484 in their first innings, with Saud Shakil getting 178. Babar Azam got 90. Mohammad Rizwan got 72. How are India going there? 3 for 267. No Virat Kohli, which is interesting, but Pujara's in there. Jaiswal got 100. A lot happening. And now we've got our final game of the episode. We've got Warwickshire in the Blast. They're currently in 7th, 2 wins, 5 losses. You would have to say we are favourites for this one, but crazier things have happened. We went through the One Day Cup undefeated last season, and then we got beaten in the first round of the knockout stage and got knocked out. So that was the thing that happened. Yeah, remains to be seen how it's going to go. I think what we'll do now is I think we'll bring Armstrong back in for Brownlow. We'll send Brownlow back to the second 11. We'll put... Was Minto batting at 10 or was Brownlow? I don't remember. We'll bat Brownlow. Armstrong at 10. We'll do that. In terms of the rest of the 11, Foyle didn't really bat in that last game, but it's not looking good. Vasconcelos, how are you looking? Not much better, I'll be perfectly honest, but I'd rather have the gloves on someone who actually is a keeper. So Foyle is, I'm going to say, unlucky to come out. I'm using the words unlucky very loosely. If we have a look at the pitch, bit more bowler-friendly conditions this one. So I dare say we won't be scoring 200 plus as we have done in the last couple of games, but we are doing very well with the ball and with bat so far this season. I ideally wouldn't mind actually bowling first on this pitch, just considering how bowler friendly it is. There's a bit of cloud over the top. Pitch is bouncy. We've lost the toss. We're going to be put into bowl. So my wish has been granted. And I did see Keogh, one of our former players, is playing for Warwickshire. So hopefully we can get him out relatively quickly. 163 for 8. Not a bad score by Warwickshire whatsoever, considering they were 5 for 59. That tail again, just like the last game, we couldn't knock over the rest of their batsmen. Willie and Fulks had 7 between them. Armstrong picked up a wicket on his return. Bannister and Minto did absolutely nothing, which was really a shame considering, you know, they're probably our 2 best bowlers, I would have to say, or at least have been this season when opening the bowling. 163 is a chaseable target, or 164 I should say, is a chaseable target. A lot of other games happening today. We'll check in on the Test Championship. India currently 5 for 385. Predictor doesn't actually have us winning this one. Actually, it does have us 59.5% chance, but just the predicted score is lower based on the fact that they expect Warwickshire to bowl us out really cheaply at one point. I probably won't go as aggressively as I have been on this pitch compared to some of the other pitches we've been playing on. But we'll just see how we go early. And hopefully we can get through the 160 odd relatively easily, hopefully. It had to come to an end. We finally lose a game. We probably went too slow, unfortunately. Higgins top scored with 76, but took 63 balls to get that 76. Vasconcelos, with his first good score of the season in limited overs cricket, picked up a 51 off 31. But just the early wickets, man, not good. We were 3 for 64, actually. Higgins propped up Flintoff in that partnership quite a bit. Flintoff surprisingly slow in that innings. But we couldn't go undefeated in this episode, unfortunately. Warwickshire win by 2 runs, so it's not as if it was an absolute belting. Bethel gets player of the game, which seems a little wrong, but all right. He is an all-rounder that hasn't taken a wicket at first-class level, and he's bowled 48 overs, all right. But, yeah, disappointing way to end the episode, unfortunately. When we look at the Blast table, we are still top of our group, 7 wins, 1 loss in the 8 games we've played. Lancashire not far behind. Well, they're on equal points, but, you know, the net run rate, of course. Warwickshire jump up into 6th. They were in 7th, I believe. Yorkshire has a game in hand on Nottinghamshire, so they could potentially move even further above them. Derbyshire could leap Nottinghamshire as well, due to them having a game in hand. And if we have a look at the south, Glamorgan just really struggling down below, but pretty even. There's only only 2 points actually between 2nd and 6th. Whereas if we have a look at our group, there's 5 points between 2nd and 3rd, and then 2 points between 3 and 5th, or 3rd and 5th, I should say. So not as tightly contested, but our next game is the matchup we've all been waiting for. We've been trying to get against Lancashire all season in the T20 Blast, but we're actually going to be playing them in the first game of next episode in the County Championship. Thank you so much for watching up until this point, guys. Please leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you are new. And until then, I hope you have a lovely day wherever you are in the world, and I'll see you guys then. Bye!